Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Cycle with Devin. This is the channel where we talk about financial freedom and how we can make our money work for us. So today, I wanted to talk about savings account and mainly the 3 to 6 months emergency fund that everyone recommends that you have. And I agree. 3 to 6 months emergency fund is very important. But the main topic of this video is where you should store those 3 to 6 month emergency fund. So I always I never really had an emergency fund. I'd usually only keep about $5,000 in my checking account, and that was about it. And the main reason for that is when you're starting out with this goal to get to financial freedom, you start off from zero, and then you slowly work your way up to the bigger numbers. But having 20, $20,000 just sitting in a savings account when you're starting out it can hurt you in the long run. And I prefer to take on a little more risk than that, and that's one of the reasons why I never had an emergency fund that big. I always had plenty of investments that I could pull from if the time ever happened where I needed them. But obviously, if the market goes down, then it wouldn't turn out well, and luckily, nothing has happened. But today I want to talk about a savings account that I found. Well, it's not a savings account, it's just another place where you could put your money where it can earn you 9% interest on your dollars, which is just absolutely insane. I found it like 2 months ago, and I've been using it for about a month and a half now. And I'm going to pull it up on my phone and I'm going to show you guys. But let's take a quick step back here and let's talk about savings account and like what's the point of a savings account and what do you really need out of a savings account, and we'll talk about whether or not this new account I found can do that for you. So the big thing on savings accounts is the big three things that I think about savings account is liquidity. A lot of people like to put some emphasis on the FDIC insured. So, worst case scenario, if the bank goes down, you can still have access to that money. And the third is you want some return on it. So usually you'll go with a high yield savings account, but currently in this low interest rate area that we're in right now, finding higher than, 0.4, 0.5% interest for a savings account is nearly impossible. And 0.4% is less than the inflation rate, which is going to be even higher this year. So you'd have to constantly be adding money to that account just to keep that savings account at the correct level. And I never wanted to do that, so I just always had the $5,000 in my checking account, and that's all I did. But I actually looked around for quite a while, and I found something else. And that something else that I found is crypto. Surprisingly. So crypto, I know most of you probably know about Bitcoin and Ethereum, the big ones that everyone talks about, but there's also versions of crypto called stable coins. And all stable coins are a one-to-one version of the dollar. So the stable coin that I use is called USDC, and $1 is equal to one USDC, and that's about it. They're stable coins. There's two really big ones right now. That's USDC and USDT. But the nice thing about these stable coins is that if you hold them, they pay you interest on those stable coins. And they pay. I use Voyager. Voyager is my favorite of all I guess, the crypto exchanges out there. Um, there's a lot of them you can choose from, but I like Voyager the best, and I'll tell you why. So some of the main reasons why I really like Voyager is that Voyager is a publicly traded company. You can go buy stocks of Voyager. So it makes me feel a bit safer that they're going to take better care of my money because they are a publicly traded company. And if they mess up with my money, their stock price will take a hit, and they don't want that to happen. So publicly traded company, that's a big bonus. Just like Coinbase, which recently IPO'd, is as well. And then Voyager has no commission fees. So if you're looking to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, Voyager has no commission fees there. So that's a really nice way to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. On the stablecoin front, they also, actually for all of their cryptos, they pay interest on them. So it incentivizes you to hold your cryptos instead of selling them in a downturn, because just like any stocks you hold, it basically pays dividends. And that's how they get you to hold on to your crypto. And they pay, I think it's like, actually, let's jump in the app here and I'll show you. So if you look right here, this is my Voyager account. You can see that I have some Bitcoin, just 0.02, I don't have much, and Ethereum, I have 0.63 Ethereum, and then you see USDC, which is the stable coin, which is basically just dollars. So let's start off with looking at their interest. So if we go to the top right here, if we click on accounts, and then we click here called crypto interest, and you will see here it says earn an interest on eligible crypto assets when you maintain a minimum balance. So here you can see for Bitcoin, they'll pay you 6.25% interest, and all you need is 0.01 Bitcoin. That's the main reason why I have so much Bitcoin in there, because I just wanted to hit the minimum, so at least I started earning interest on it. If you come down here for Ethereum, you see 5.25%. And you only need half of an Ethereum, which is a little over, I think it's like 12, maybe $1,100 right now. If you go down a little bit further, you see their USDC coin, and they pay 9% interest, which is just a crazy high amount of interest to get. So if we go back to the main screen, you can see I have USDC here. So they pay out interest, they pay out your interest once a month. So once a month, you'll get a lump sum payment. It accrues every single day, but they pay it out once a month. So if I scroll over to the side here, you can see a little further, you can see interest paid. And they paid me $34.29 last month. So I just got the account last month. I was testing it out. I didn't have that much money in there, but now I have a lot more money in there. So 9% of 15 grand will probably be a little less than $100. But that's a lot of interest to be earning on it. And that's one of the reasons why I love Voyager. And just a quick side thing here, because I'm a passive investor. I'm a buy and hold strategy, and that's all I really do. I don't ever sell, good times or the bad times. So the thing that I really like about Voyager is that you can set up reoccurring buys. And I currently have it set up to buy $50 of Ethereum and $50 of Bitcoin every week. And it's super easy. I love things that you can set up like this. I haven't seen any other, I think Coinbase is starting to do something like that, but Coinbase doesn't pay out interest on all of their assets yet. So Coinbase is probably getting there. So if that's one you prefer, you feel more comfortable with, you can do that. There's also BlockFi. There's also Gemini, which are the big ones. The main reason why I like Voyager over all these other ones is that Voyager doesn't require you to stake your money. So if you go to BlockFi and you can get a similar interest rate on your stable coins of like, I think maybe it's even higher, maybe it's a little lower. I think it's like 8.6% last time I checked, but you have to stake your money for a certain amount of time. And what that basically means is that you can't touch that money while it's staked. So it basically means they're going to go lend your money out to someone else, and you can't touch that money until until they return that money to you. On Voyager, you don't have to stake your money at all. So I can literally just go in here. I could sell my USDC however much I want. I have the full value available to me. And then after I did that, I could go straight to the account screen, and I could go transfer, and I could go withdraw from Voyager, and I could just withdraw US dollars. Obviously, I don't have any US dollars in here right now. They're all in the stablecoin, but I could immediately withdraw it. So you have that instant liquidity, which I really love. Cash that you have in Voyager is actually FDIC insured. up to $250,000, which is really nice. I don't keep anything in cash here. It makes no sense. But if anything was going wrong in the world, you could come and jump on this app, turn all your stable coins into cash, and then they'd be FDIC insured up to $250,000, and it'd take you like 5 seconds to do that. So that's the main reason why I love Voyager. And that's my new savings account. It's where I keep all of my money, where I keep all of my cash, other than a little bit in my checking account to pay for the bills and everything. But this was a huge find for me because I struggled to put that much money in a savings account and then just let inflation eat away at my money. So this was a huge find for me. I hope you guys liked it. Um, I have one more little bonus here at the end. So I'm a M1 Finance user, and I really like M1 Finance. And M1 Finance lets you borrow against your portfolio. So if you have $10,000 invested on M1 Finance, they give you up to 35% of it that you can use to do whatever you want. You can just take it out and use it to pay off some bills or something. It has a low interest rate currently at 2%. You could reinvest that back into the portfolio. But what I do with it is I take that money that they're letting me borrow at 2%, and then I move it over to my Voyager account and I put it in a stable coin, and then I can earn 9% on it. So I get the difference of the 7% because they're charging 2% and Voyager is paying 9%. So you get a difference of 7%. But what's really nice about that is if anything ever happened to my account, the market tanked, and I was getting close to a margin call, I could quickly just jump on my Voyager account, move that to my bank account, and then pay off whatever margin, and then pay it off on my M1 Finance. So that's a very safe way I found where you can leverage up your money and not be at the risk of losing it. You could obviously invest it back in a portfolio, and you might be doing better. I mean, the stock market only averages 10%. So to think that you could get better than a 9%, and that's a lot of risk. And that's a little too much risk for me. So I just take all that money and I throw it in there, and that's how I leverage up my money a little bit. So I hope you guys found all that information was good. Um, Thank you for coming to the channel, checking it out. Please drop a like. I hope the audio quality was way better. I finally got the microphone to work, and I'm starting to set up my little studio here where I'm going to be recording. So thank you for coming to the channel, and this is Breaking the Cycle with Devin. See you guys next time.